I would like to call to order the ILL Tech Group meeting via Zoom for Thursday, May 18th, 2023 at 9:33 a.m. Thank you for everyone for being here. Today's meeting is not going to be too extensive, but we do have some things to cover, including the voting for different chairpersons for next year. Are there any additions or changes to the minutes from February 23rd, 2023? If there are no changes or additions, do I have someone who will approve those minutes?
Anne from Prospect Heights, I'll approve.
Do I have a second?
I second.
Thank you. Minutes are approved. Are there any additions to today's agenda? If there are no additions, we will continue. For the officers' report, Stephanie didn't have anything for this morning. I'm vice chair, and all I can say is welcome everyone. We have a beautiful morning and a beautiful day for this meeting. Mary Ellen, is there anything you would like to add as secretary?
No, thank you.
Okay. In order to help her, if you are proposing a first or second vote, if you give your name, that will help her in making her notes. Moving on, Mieko, can you give us a staff report?
Yeah, so the first thing, as always, I'm going to pop a link to the sign-in sheet into the chat. If you have a moment, go ahead and fill out your name. I will also email this out to the group after the meeting if you don't have a chance to fill it out today. I just have one piece of news to share with the group. So again, migration related. So we're currently working on the migration with more Newport and Innovative. You've likely heard that we've timed the offline period for go live with the Labor Day weekend, just once again to coincide with those holiday closures, like we did with the Palatine and Grays Lake migration. So the timing actually works well for us. Our August meeting is going to take place right before go live. So at the August meeting, we will talk about managing those Warren Newport Interlibrary loans that came from OCLC after their live. So basically just keep watching for more details on that, much to come.
Okay.
Turning it back to Steve.
Oh, thank you. Do we have any old business that needs to be covered? No, let's move on to that new business. The first piece of new business, we have Jackie who's going to be reporting. Does your library send a thank you note to OCLC libraries for lending their items? Go ahead, Jackie.
Yeah, I just have been thinking about redoing what we do. We've gone through many things. Sometimes we just stamped a little thank you. Then we had a little simple notes, but it's one of those funny things. I feel like I get a big kick out of getting those thank you notes from other libraries. And like, look at this. I don't know if you can see that. My goodness. It says, on Golden Wings, we thank you. This is probably the most elaborate one I've ever gotten. And then I really enjoy University of California, Berkeley. They're all different. It looks like they have student art on there. Isn't that great? And so I was just curious though, you know, it kind of makes my day when I get those thank yous, that along with when I come in the morning and I see a purple pink bin in with the blue bins. I don't know, it doesn't take much for me to get a happy face in ILL, but so I was just curious what other people do with thank you notes or not.
We do this. Just got our logo and
Get your logo.
yeah, and it says Prospect Heights Public Library District and our patrons, thank you for sharing your collection with us.
No, thank you. And I see somebody said we handwrite a note. I like that too.
Wilmette, I like to write the note saying, thank you for the loan.
Where do you write that on?
On their paperwork that's going back.
Going back,
It uses a little less paper
right?
and it's handwritten.
Yeah.
So at least
And
somebody
smiley
knows that we
face.
took the time
Right.
to do that.
Right.
We also do that as well. And we put a smiley face.
Yeah.
Mhm,
Sophie.
Right.
I do the smiley face on mine and it's handwritten again on the paper, whatever they've sent out. And the reason I put the smiley face on there is because I think at the other end, if they throw it in the trash and they're looking for it so that they can check it in, they can remember it was the one with the smiley face and it always gets checked in.
Amy, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, it will not, we do have unblur my background. We do have a stamper, but I sort of discovered you have to wait for it to dry before you put it in the book. And two, along with Louise, it is nice to make it handwritten. I'll put it on the paperwork and the IDLS that you send it back to, with who you send it back to, I'll write it in their notes field.
Sounds like there's a few other libraries that have a rubber stamp as well. Highland Park, in Northbrook will either handwrite a thank you or use a rubber stamp.
Yeah, great.
rubber stamp.
I like the whatever libraries does the student artwork. She
Yeah,
like put a
that's
whole
a-
bunch of paper, in your kids' department and just have them, you know.
Yeah,
Right.
that's true. I like
Draw
that
some art.
idea.
Mhm.
Yeah. I go back and forth because I hate, to make more paper waste, but yeah, very cool. And I just saw something else in the chat. Wait, what was that one?
Jackie, hold on to those. You never know who the next Picasso might be.
That's true. Yeah, true.
Remember, he did his drawings on napkins and people
Yeah.
saved them.
Yeah, because I have a couple of these from this college, University of California,
Yeah.
Berkeley, and they're like I said, they're different. They have, so somebody wrote, Yelena, our staff designed a thank you note with a cute pic of stacked up books, and we put it when returning. That's a nice little idea too. Yeah, Kim, would be a great collaboration with the youth department for programming. Thank you notes. I like that. Great, thank you, everybody.
Yeah, thank you. Very
I know
creative.
it felt like it was sort of a fluff piece here, sort of a trivial thing, but
Oh,
We have one more. Can you hear me? Look at
Yes.
this. This came
Oh.
from,
Oh,
it says, thank you for helping delight our patrons. Isn't that
Oh,
cute? Dill pickle.
cute. I've never seen that one. Oh, I love it. See, I like
What-
artsy,
what-
so.
Andy, what library is that from?
It says UNCSA. I actually don't know. One of my coworkers grabbed it.
University of North Carolina, maybe? I don't know. Good. Thanks for sharing that. Okay, that sounds like it, I guess. Anybody
Yeah.
else?
oh. That was fun. Thank you for bringing up the topic, Jackie.
Sure.
Next we have elections. And that would be the election for the chair, vice chair, and secretary. And normally the vice chair moves into that chair position. But Stephanie spoke with me earlier in the year, and she said she would like to run for chairperson again if I would run for vice chair. Did you want to handle the elections, Mieko?
Yeah, I can do the elections. Oh,
Okay.
Stephanie put a clarification that no, she is not interested in chair.
She's not interested in chair. Okay,
So we'll stick to the traditional where the vice chair moves into the chair position.
okay.
And then we will hold elections for vice chair and secretary. So before we get into the elections, I do want to give a round of applause to Stephanie because she was a wonderful chair. So thank you so much, Stephanie. And also a huge thank you to Mary Ellen for serving as secretary again this year. Minutes are always so well written. So round of applause to Mary Ellen. Thank you. So again, Jeannie is our current vice chair and will step into the role of chair as of July 1st. So we need to take some nominations to fill those outgoing seats. I do want to preface this by saying that we always have an orientation where we go over like what the officer roles entail and what you'll need to do and when for meetings ahead of that first meeting of the year so that you are prepared and know what to expect. So going through just kind of an overview real quick of responsibilities for that vice chair / chair-elect position. So as chair-elect, you will serve that one year as vice chair. Your responsibilities will, does anyone have a question? Or otherwise I'm going to. Do feel free to interrupt me if you have any questions. So when you're vice chair, your responsibilities will include just filling in for the chair at meetings if they're unavailable. And then the following year, you will serve as chair. And as chair, you'll write up the agenda, send out the meeting information through the listserv, and you'll facilitate our meetings. For secretary, the secretary writes up the minutes for the meetings. When our meetings are virtual like this, you do have access to that meeting recording to kind of help you work through minutes. And then when meetings are in person, the officers will meet briefly after the meeting to like share notes and see if there's anything that needs to be clarified. So, you know, if you feel like you forgot something, like we've got the rest of us there to kind of help fill in gaps. And the officers and I will also like take a look at those draft minutes before they're posted to the group. With that, I'm going to open up, see if there's any questions about either position. If there are no questions, let's start with a nomination for vice chair, chair-elect. Would anyone like to self-nominate? We also accept nominations for colleagues if you'd like to do that. I'll say this is a very kind group, so don't be afraid of leading a meeting. Everyone is incredibly supportive. It's very minimal time commitment as well.
Since Tony's not here, maybe we could. Yeah.
I think we did threaten him with that. I know Karen and I threatened, we already threatened absentee people with nominations. Stephanie, if I can do it, anyone can. I'm a very patient person, everyone, so I'm willing to sit here until we get some nominations. And with the ILL group, it's 3 meetings a year, so you don't even have to do the full 4. Okay. We can put a pause on the vice chair. if you'd like to move to secretary, we can take questions or nominations for the secretary position. And the minutes don't have to be super detailed. We like summaries, so you don't feel like you have to record everything people say. You can summarize discussions, conversation ensued, that sort of thing.
I can do the secretary.
Oh, wonderful.
Thank you, Jackie.
I think I haven't done that one. I've done, of course, vice and things, so.
Thank you, Jackie. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Unless I get not voted, then unless people don't vote for me.
I will pass it back to Jeannie then for
Okay.
the approval.
Okay, so do we actually vote on the secretary position then?
We'll take a motion, take a second, and then we'll all approve it because we're all going to approve it, right? Just kidding.
Yes. So we have the motion
Okay,
on the floor
crazy.
that Jackie will be the secretary for the upcoming ILL Tech year. Do I have a person who will give us a first?
I do. Karen
Thank you.
from Fremont.
Thank
Everybody
you.
jumps in for that.
Yeah. Do we have someone who will second the motion?
I'll second Kim from Northbrook, or actually Louise, if Louise wants to do it, go ahead, Louise.
Oh, that's okay, but yeah, I'll second it with great
Okay.
enthusiasm. I've worked
Yes,
with,
you'll do great, Jackie.
Yes. So thank you, Jackie. It is approved that she will be the secretary for the upcoming ILL Tech year. So thank you very much. I know you'll do a fantastic job on this. Moving on to new business, we have the third item, and that's going to be led by Amy and Patty, and it's creating multiple holds in OCLC. That's kind of like we got this idea out of the February meeting where some information was disseminated. So Amy and Patty, you're on.
So Patty and I talked this over and we decided a live demo would be the best way to show multiple holds. So I'm going to do a live demo. Patty will make comments as I go along.
Can you
but if
hear me?
everyone-
Can you hear me okay? I just want to make sure my mic's working.
Yes, we can hear you.
All right, thank you. Sorry.
So Patty will make comments as we go along, since we can hear her. If you can all hold questions at the end, until the end, this is sort of an autopilot for me. So I'm just going to be kind of, not robotically, but moving through as I normally do. So let's see, let me start here. And I'm going to share my screen. Hold on. This is the one I want to get. Okay. So starting multiple holds. First, we want to pick a book. So we're going to go to discover items. And I've chosen Eternity Street. It's one another book club has done recently. So I put in the title and author to search. And Eternity Street turns up here. Oh, and should mention, watch my cursor. I'll be, circling things with my cursor. So this is the Eternity Street we want, and I'm going to select all holdings. Here for the multiple hold part, you'll see over here there's quantity. This is where you choose how many holds you want to create for the same title. We're going to create 5 today. And one of the reasons I'm doing 5, you can see over here in the lender string, it gives you 4 lines. Don't panic. There's number 5 in the rest. So you just go up and down in the bar. I panicked the first time I did this. So now we go to selecting libraries. There are 2 things to have caution about. One is don't select libraries in CCS, and we can see Des Plaines, Ela, Evanston, and Glenview are in here, so we're going to be careful not to select them. Also, as I select libraries per line, you don't want to select the same library that you've selected in another lender string. So we go on and select libraries. I'm just going to go down the row, and I like to select about 3 per lender string. That gives a couple libraries the opportunity before it might unfill. We'll get to the unfill later. So I'm going to go 3 at a time. We also, Patty and I talked about, we both do this. We write this down as we go along. I write down the symbol and the library name. It'll help you later when the items come in to keep track of which lender string, which OCLC request it is. So I'm just going to go Charleston, College of Lake County, skipping Des Plaines, going to Dunham's Grove. Now, notice what I've already selected. Once I go to the second lender string, they look like they're available again. So that's where you need to be careful as you're selecting. So I remember the last one I selected was Downers Grove. So now I'm going to go on to Eastern Illinois, Eisenhower, skipping Ela, Evanston, and Glenview, go to Hinsdale. So there's 3. The next lender string, I'm going to Illinois Central College, Illinois State University, Joliet Public. 4th, I go to Lincoln Library, Marion Carnegie, Pritzker Military, and then I scroll down to the 5th lender string and go to Schaumburg, University of Illinois, University of Chicago, University of Illinois. So there I've selected 3 items for each lender string. At this point, you're going to create the request. And make sure it's going to be for Wilmette. So you'll see here the request quantity is 5, and Eternity Street is up here in the name, and there's the lender strings you see scrolling down to see more than just 4. Scrolling down here, so in title journal, Eternity Street, what we do is put book club needs until, I'm going to do 6/29, please. And I put asterisks before and after. And I'm going to copy this because I'm going to put it in our borrowing notes as well. So, and it has to be in the journal title. You can put it in the request name as well, but it won't show up on the request unless it's in the journal title. And I'll show you what that means once we send the request. So scrolling down, I'm putting it in the borrowing notes, copy from shipping, and we always put in the disclaimer. Please send a conditional advising if there's a fee before sending, in zeros here. And for the patron name, I'll put in CCS, hello CCS ILL team. And up here, now we're going to send the request. Now we go from discover items to borrowing. We go into produced. And there are our 5 eternity streets. If you don't want to see everything that's here, you can go down to linked requests. And you'll see another book club we have here. That was our most previous. And look at the tabs up here. So if you have multiple requests, now we just go to the tab of Eternity Street and we see them there. What I was saying about putting the book club needs until in the journal title line, you need to do that so this will show up here. And then you can look at the request and you'll see book club needs until, book club needs until, right there. And that's how you create multiple requests. So give me just a minute to delete these so libraries don't start filling them. And Patty, did you have any comments as I went along?
No, we pretty much do ours the same. The one thing we do is we put the name of the book club under patron, and then the contact member, their library card number under the ID. And maybe in notes, we put what day they're going to pick the items up. Writing down the library strings is, I find, very helpful. If you have one that goes unfilled, you can quickly look at notes to see which library, maybe the first one on your first choice, first string sent it. So you can always put those other 2 down and resend. The ones that didn't get the request because it was already filled.
So does anybody have any questions? If not, you can always contact me or Patty, and we can help you walk through it. That's it.
Wonderful, thank you. That was a nice demonstration, very, very clear. Well, we're at the end of today's meeting. We're going to have the beginning of summer. I'd like to thank Stephanie for serving this past year, and Mary Ellen for serving, and Mieko for everything that you do for all of us. It's just wonderful. All those things that, you know, coming together, we can do collectively a whole lot more than we can do separately. Thank you, even though you thought it might be a little trite, covering those thank you notes. What we like to do is give concierge service in the area of ILL. I know our patrons really appreciate whether it's a CCS loan or whether it's an OCLC loan, and all those little touches like sending out those thank you notes are so important. One of the things that it does, it makes everyone feel appreciated, and it's a beautiful thing to do. It just makes me happy. So thank you for the suggestion. And being no other business to come before us today, I would like a motion to adjourn. Do we have someone who will make that motion?
Jeannie, real quick before we adjourn,
Yes.
the next meeting is going to be Thursday, August 24th.
Okay.
We need a vice chair still. I'm just going to put it out there one more time to
One
see
more
if anyone
time
has had
before we close.
a chance to think about it. They would love to nominate themselves as vice chair. Jackie's off the hook because she already nominated herself for secretary.
Yeah.
Well, continue to think about it. I will be sending out a call to the IL listserv. So if there was anyone who's not able to make it today and they're interested, talk to your colleagues, encourage them to self-nominate.
Thank you. for that one last surge. So with that, we are ready to close today's meeting. Do we have someone who will give us a motion to close then?
I'll move to adjourn.
Thank you. With that, the meeting is adjourned. Thank you. Have a wonderful summer. We'll see you on August 24th, and you will be reached by Mieko for possibility of running as vice chair. It's a nice position, and you get to work with me and Mieko, and it is a nice year. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you.